everybody, this is Joy. How are you today? I am back with another fun project for Maker Forte. I am using a spotlight and stenciling and stamping technique with the Easter Blessing stamp set and obviously the circle spotlight stencil. So I like quick and easy cards that look like I spent a ton of time on, and this is it. Maker Forte takes out all of the hard parts to make this card. So the spotlight stencil, basically you get a positive and a negative side, and I am using the part that's the stencil and not the mask, and I place that towards the top of my card panel, and I am blending inks through that circle. And if you notice, I have that anchored down with magnets on my glass board studio glass mat. Anyway, I am putting Color Hive inks in the color of Coral Keys, Bubblegum, and Yellowstone. Now you'll notice that I used the two pinks first, and that's just because I wanted to get a really good blend when I put the yellow over it, or with the Coral Keys already having a coral or orange tone to it. I wanted to make sure that I didn't go too heavy with the yellow on top of it and then have the bubblegum ink not show through. So that's kind of why I went with the pinks, then the yellow last, and then I went back, I think, with the bubblegum again to get a seamless blend. But really, this only took minutes, and it is fabulous. Now, since I plan on embossing my Easter Blessings image, I went ahead and I dried the panel with a heat gun just so that the powder didn't stick. And you're going to see that I take some clear powder and I sprinkle that onto the panel once I'm done with what I think when I'm done drying it, to see if it sticks. Because if it sticks, that means that it's still wet, and then I need to go back and dry it some more. And again, of course, it was still wet, so I dried it. Now that I've got it nice and dry, I line up the Easter Blessing stamp set in my Misty, and I treated that with an anti-static powder tool. And then I'm inking the stamp up with VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink, which gives a very nice impression, and it stays sticky for a minute so that I can put the clear embossing powder over that. I just really like the ink. Maker Forte has an Eclipse black embossing powder, where if I had used an embossing clear ink, I could have used that. I honestly didn't think about it, or else I would have used that. Either technique would have been absolutely the same. And then once I'm done, with the stamping, I take my heat gun to that and I melt the powder, which is, in my opinion, the very best thing on earth to watch. It never, ever, ever gets old. I probably say that in every video, but that's just because I really, really love embossing. And then from the same stamp set, I use the Sentiment from Joshua 1:9, which is a very encouraging sentiment. Now, this stamp set can be used for Easter and comes with other Easter images as well as sentiments, but I'm going to send this to a friend of mine that needs a little bit of encouragement, which is why I chose that sentiment. And then again, I emboss that with the clear embossing powder and set that with my heat gun. And I just love the way that turned out. I love how the cross is the center. There's just no denying, that it's a gorgeous card. And then I score my perfect score A2 top folding panel. And then I mat the focal panel with some Eclipse black cardstock. And then I pop that up on foam tape. And I always, as a trick, use a little bit of wet glue so I have some wiggle room, because I never get anything straight the first time. That is just not something that's in my repertoire. I don't think it ever will be. I'm 5 years into card making, and I, to this day, cannot go without using wet glue to get the wiggle room. So anyway, you can laugh at me. I laugh at me all the time. So in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I would appreciate that as I'm trying to grow my channel. Also, I just want to remind you that Hedgehog Hollow and Maker Forte have a spring crafter party on April 2nd. It's a free event. If you're interested in that, you can find that on the website, and I will link it below. And then to finish up my card, I add a couple sequins and I call it finished. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.